Welcome back to the Bloodbrawler series. In the last one we took on Godric, killed ourselves a few players as well, and in between the recordings, because I didn't want to subject you guys to a horrible map, I also went and got the map fragments as well as a bit of house cleaning with the merchants, because having them all in one location is very convenient. So today we begin our next segment. I've already chosen my 3 weapons that I'll be grabbing, so today's going to be a long one. I'm almost certain of it. We're going to aim to get to level 45, maybe 48, depending if I did the math wrong. We actually can't use any of the weapons that we want to use for quite some time, actually. But the first thing we want to go pick up, we obviously need the weapons, which will also give us a bit of extra runes, which, on that note, we should actually spend the runes, because I didn't spend them once we got to Godric. So let's allocate some of these points here. We want to get to 33 vigor. Actually, it's a bit of a pain because we got the scar seal on. So I need 2 points in vigor, 19 dex, I think. I did the stat sheet wrong. This is not good. Yeah, that's fine. I'm hoping I do all this right anyway. But first, we actually got to go get our weapons. There is one weapon over here. We've got Godric's Great Axe. I can go get that at any time. There is also another item over here that I want to go grab. And there is a sacred tear in this church, which I'll probably do that at the end as well. Go through and get all the sacred tears that we could have possibly gotten, because we are going to need them. This level jump is probably the worst in the game for PvP comparatively. Like the previous zone to the one we're entering now, it's really, really high. There's another merchant up here which we're going to kill just to have convenience on our armor buying later on, because we're also going to be getting quite a bit of armor in this video. So unfortunately our friendly merchants here will all have to die. Alright, I'm sorry. But it will make our lives a hell of a lot easier later on. Alright, we've made it to the first location that I wanted to stop at. We're after a prayer book from in here. It'll help us. I'm hoping it'll help tremendously with the main issue that I usually have in invasions, which I like to call the magic pixel syndrome. Because in my experience, most hosts and phantoms love living on 1 HP, and I can never land the last hit because roll catching in this game is such a pain comparatively. So hopefully that'll help. Should be this one here. Lovely. That'll give us access to an ability called Flamo Surge, which I'm hoping will work pretty much the same as in Dark Souls 3. Where you can just chase someone down with it and it will reliably hit them for very little damage, but it will be the finishing point of damage, which is what we need. Alright, so just up ahead we can actually see, well, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a wagon behind that troll there, or that giant. I don't know what they're called. I'm pretty sure it's just giant. But we need to grab the item from in that chest back there. I will kill this guy just because it's a decent chunk of XP. I find the easiest way is to actually do it on foot, but I figured I might as well try it for the video. Pretty much just do charged heavies. It's taken a while to actually go down here, which is a bit annoying. I think I easily could have killed him by now. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna get off my horse and kill you. This is so annoying. That's better. Of course. But yeah, he gives us nice 1,000 souls. But here's what we came here for. Show you guys again the map. Literally at the end of this bridge here. And in this chest is a weapon that we'll be using. The tree spear. It actually needs a monstrous amount of faith. Yeah, 18 faith. So we won't be able to use that for a while. And that is the same story with one of the other weapons that we're going to go get But that's all the way up here. You guys probably know what it is if you've gotten this weapon. I've always wanted to use it. It just seems a little bit busted in the current PvP meta, so I didn't want to touch it. But this is a good excuse to use it. The next thing that we're going to go do is find a tomb. We actually need to go up to this cave here, and this will have an essential item that we need possibly later on. I don't know how many normal weapons we're going to get, but this will give us access to unlimited amounts of smithing stone 1 and 2, which as you can imagine is very useful instead of having to try and find all the items. There's actually an item in here that I need as well, which we're going to grab real quick, because we need it to use 2 of the weapons that we want to use here. Oh, we missed. That's alright. But it's actually in the floor here somewhere. Yeah, here it is. And from in here, we get a talisman. So we'll go in and grab this real quick. Should be the 2 fingers talisman. Lovely stuff. That'll essentially give us 5 faith for free, which is basically 5 levels. Very, very handy if you want to min-max how much your character can actually do early on. Same kind of thing as the Radagon Scar Seal that we got. There's still a dog? Alright, easy enough. For reference, the ruins here if you want to pick up the talisman yourself. Alright, we've made it to the next location, which as I said was at the red butthole just here. You can know it's here just by the walking mausoleum. And yeah, I'm gonna run through the dungeon, show you guys the boss fight, and that'll be it for this dungeon. Alright, we were able to get through here relatively easily. Got 4 heals, but that probably means fuck all on this boss. This is my least favorite boss in the game. Like, my least favorite enemy type by quite a bit. I absolutely hate fighting them. Not this one in particular. This one's a nicer version of all the other ones you can deal with. For example, the spear one just doesn't leave you alone. But luckily we got our trusty +3 flail, which makes this quite a bit easier. Alright, we got the combo down. It's done. And we should get a smithing stone bell. Sweet. That'll give us access to, as I mentioned earlier, unlimited +1 and 2 smithing stones, which is great. We also got pretty much 10,000 souls from running through here, which is pretty good. So I'll dump those points in, see what we're looking like for levels, then head on based on what happens there. Alright, so we need 2 more points in dexterity if we can. Beautiful stuff. Okay, so our dex is done. Now we need some faith. We need to get our faith to 18 in total. So we need 4 levels, which isn't too bad. And then we pump the rest into strength for the last weapon. So in mentioning that we need quite a bit more faith, we may as well go get our next weapon. We're also pretty close to getting it. We just need to run up the left side of this cliff here and then run over to... I think it's up here somewhere. I know we like run along here and then it's in here somewhere. I'll show you guys exactly where it is once we get there. Alright, so we made it up the cliff. The entrance is basically just there for reference. In case you want to get up here yourself or you can't find the way up in your own playthrough, it'll help quite a bit. As I know a lot of people couldn't find their way up here initially. And we got another merchant here, which is unfortunate for him, but great for us. As I said, it'll help us a lot when we're making an armor set for PvP here. So it is worth killing them for us. Or for myself, that is. As it'll save me travelling around a lot. Here's our next church. We get another sacred tier here. And as I said, now we're at the top, so we can venture to the next spot that we need. Which is very good. And again, for reference, it's at the top of the hill, which is just here. Alright, so our next target, you can see it off in the distance, is that tower there. The tower has an annoying, like, cult of enemies, known as, like, Frenzy Flame Priests. There'll be a big Eye of Sauron in a second here. To not get murked by this, you basically need as high focus as you can as a resistance on your armor to make it up here somewhat reliably. As you can see, the madness bar goes up quite quick. I get off so I don't kill my horse immediately. Up to you whether you do that, but I like having torrent to try and make it the rest of the way up. Once you get to the bottom of the tower here, there'll be a few rats that you have to deal with. Try and dispatch them quickly, unlike me, who's almost dying just because he's a fucking idiot. I am dead. Yeah, as I said, try and deal with them quickly. Can be a bit of a pain, as you can see. We do no damage. Alright, we're good. So yeah, we're gonna kill them at the top, and then we actually get some freedom with fighting the rats down the bottom. Probably just gonna try and weapon art them down. Because we do need to kill them as quick as possible, because they keep doing the thing until they're all dead. Oh, why is it missing? Please stop missing. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Whew. Oh my goodness. And for those curious, you can mash out of the madness. That's why it kills a lot of people in PvP. It's because you don't mash. Alright, that makes this way safer to try and deal with these rats, because we can actually chuck on a better weapon. Hopefully we can actually kill them this time, because I'd rather get those souls back. Runes are quite annoying to get at the moment. Top ourselves off, and we'll try and kill this big rat first. Oh, well that works. Good damage. Oh, it missed. Okay. Right, there's one rat down. I wish it would reach a bit further than it does, but that's okay. There we go, that's better. Now we can head over to the big lad, which is just up there. So, just up here is actually where we get our next weapon. At the top here. Well, not in this church, but an invader that shows up right now will actually give it to you. So, good luck if you're fighting him. He's quite... I think he's tanky with the stuff that we have at the moment. So he might be a bit difficult. But his weapon will be well and truly worth it for PvP. This is Festering Fingerprint Vike. Much weaker version of what he usually is, but he's still pretty deadly. No. Okay, yep, that's his one heal. Okay, not bad. Run from that. That weapon art does so much damage. Beautiful stuff. And now we have possibly one of the best weapons in the entire game for PvP. This thing is absolutely monstrous, but we can't use it for now. The reason it's so scary is it applies a lot of madness. And madness basically stops you in your tracks, and it catches rolls. So unlike other statuses where they just stop you from moving for a second, Madness will stop you for like 4 seconds. I think it's 5 if you don't mash at all, and that's really bad, because they can get off essentially whatever they want while you're stunned there. So since we got bugger all experience from all of that, we actually go to the next area, which will give us, honestly, one of my favorite utility spells. It's called Carrion Retaliation. It's extremely nice to have in PvP. We'll also meet an essential NPC for what we're doing, which will be very nice. For reference, it's all the way over there. We can't actually see it on the map, but it's up there. Alright, so we made it to the next crucial spot. There is an extremely important NPC coming up. Well, for what I'm doing at least. And you want to go just here. Now, it may look a bit confusing at first, because there's nothing here. But I assure you, there is quite a lot here to be gained. First off, there's an illusory wall right in front of us. So grab that. And this NPC here is extremely important to what we're doing. So I will just reset the enemies here real quick. And we'll go have a chat with him, and I'll show you why he's important. This is Master E.G. He's a blacksmith. And he sells up to Somber Smithing Stone 4, which is extremely good for us at the moment. That'll essentially let us do PvP without having to go farm those smithing stones at all. We just go buy one of each, and we can upgrade all 3 of our weapons to the max potential to keep us in a decent bracket for PvP. I'm also going to go through most of this area because we need something past the first boss in here that'll help us a lot. It's honestly one of my favorite Ashes of War. If you've seen my invasion videos, you've probably seen people use it against me and me use it myself. Especially in the recent one, I used it quite a lot because I ran into a lot of people that were trying to be cheesy to me, I guess. You can also get Somber Smithing Stones from these, which is very nice, so you don't need to buy level 2 ever. Don't walk all the way in if you have to equip anything. Just a bit of advice from me. We're just going to use Jelly, and hopefully he can take some of the attention off us. Won't be able to poison it or anything, but that's okay. Beautiful. Oh, I thought I was far enough. See, this is why we have Jelly. Huge distraction. Ah, okay. +1 is really not what you want here. Goodness. I have not struggled that much with that fight, ever. Good damage there. I was going to say, if we can keep Jelly alive a bit longer, that'll be really nice. Oh, I thought I was far enough. Oh, that was so unlucky. Sorry if I was so quiet there. I bet like 90% of that footage was very quiet. You. Holy sh**. I forgot how much that sucks with a +1 weapon. Sorry it was so quiet. But now we get our reward. So, to get this amazing Ash of War, you just come to this location, pretty much just to the left of this, like, wall here. And you want to drop down and follow the path I take, because you don't want to drop all the way, otherwise you'll miss it. Also be careful, because you can quite easily die here by falling too far. And the NPC is just here. This is, I think her name's Pyrac. Yeah, Pyrac, servant of the manor. You just talk to her a couple times, and then she should let you by. And this is what we came for. The Carrion Retaliation. An extremely, extremely handy Ash of War that you can put on most shields. We're also going to level up while we're here, because she gave us quite a bit of runes. And we should be one level short of having enough faith for 2 of our weapons, which is pretty good. So now we have pretty much everything we could want to do PvP. We'll actually see how high my sacred tier can get first. I am considering going to get all of the sacred tiers that we currently have access to, because we will need them quite heavily. But we'll just see how much we got here. I think we got 3. Yeah, we got 3. So we should be at +6. Beautiful. Alright, that shouldn't be too bad for PvP, honestly. About 7 is where I'd stop if you don't have above 40 vigor yet, which we won't have that at all. I'm actually going to head into the Raya Lucaria area straight away, because as I mentioned, we obviously went and got the recusant finger immediately, so we already have the key for this. If you don't have the key yourself, it is from this location here, and there's a dragon guarding it. You can just walk past him and grab it. But for now, I will head inside to give myself a shortcut over to the farming spot that I like. Once I have all the levels, I'll bring you guys back. So what you want to do once you get here, it's through that gate there. So this is just a shortcut over to the location. This is how you would normally get into this spot, at least from this one. So it's not that game breaking really. So yeah, if you get here on foot, this is where you would usually enter the manor from. It's this location here, instead of up here. Obviously it's much easier to get to. Now what we're essentially going to do is run through here and kill everything except that giant head, because he does not give enough souls to be worth it. And we have 276 at the moment. I'll bring you this back when we've done a run. Well, actually, I'll just show you the run, because you may as well see it. Obviously, if you have way better weapons than me, this is a lot easier. You can also get some really good weapons from these enemies here if you want to do some really good damage. The knights there give an extremely good straight sword, which straight swords are already really good in nature, so I do recommend it if you want to use a straight sword. But yeah, you just head down here. That didn't kill him? Jeez. Her weapon is really weak. Now, ideally, this head won't be stuck here. I don't know why he is. He's never been here for me. And yeah, that's the run. As you can see, we got almost 2,000 runes, which is quite a bit less than what I said, but I can usually run through this really fast. But as I keep alluding, this weapon is very much unupgraded. For where we are. Alright, so it's been about 10 minutes of farming. I hope I've farmed up enough. Put one more point into faith to finish it off. Now we should be able to use both the spears. Yep, I'll chuck the Vikes on first. This thing is absolutely crazy, by the way. And now we'll go upgrade it a little bit. I'll probably have to farm some more. Yeah, obviously won't show you guys that, but I do want to showcase the weapon this time, opposed to just jumping into PvP and murdering with it, because I think that's a bit more exciting. But yeah, EG here is extremely important. I think I mentioned it. He sells these, which are extremely good. And I did farm up enough, luckily. 2, 3... We're a tiny bit short. That's alright, we can actually go to the mages just here and show it off a little bit. So, this weapon is ridiculous because it does madness damage. It also has really solid damage on its own, so I would highly, highly recommend it. Where'd they go? Oh my god, they're making a fool out of me. Oh my fucking god, I'm gonna break something. You. Okay, where's the other one? Die! Okay. Yeah, as you can see, it's already quite the big jump. I think we're doing like 100 more damage than what we were. Which is partially because of it being upgraded now, almost to the max that we can. But it's also just because it does a lot more base damage. Yeah, 147 plus 94, that's nothing to scoff at. I think our other weapon was like 160 base. And that's it. So it was quite the jump. As well as having madness on it, which is, as I've said a few times, it's so broken in PvP. If you madness someone, they're basically dead. Also, the running heavy is extremely good. Like 400 damage on its own. And obviously each hit builds up madness. So it is ridiculously good. Alright, let's go upgrade it to the max, and then I'll show you guys the weapon art, which I am actually looking forward to using because I guess I like to profit off aggressive players, and that's why I can't deal with people being really passive for no reason when they definitely have an advantage. There we go. Okay, so yeah, this weapon art right here is extremely good. All this flame here does madness damage and normal tick damage. So even if your weapon art misses, there's a high chance that you're going to madness someone. And then once they're madness, if they don't proc, if they don't like mash out, full charged R2, and they should easily be dead. It is so strong. But we actually need to head off into farm a bit more so we can use our other spear and upgrade it as well, which is this one here. Now, apparently you can infuse this one, so it has its normal buff, which I'd imagine gives it more damage. 261. Yeah, I'd say that's more damage, considering it only does 190. But apparently you can infuse it as well with like resins and stuff. So I can put magic on it or blood. Or if I go farm some lightning, I can do that too. In the sense of making this video a bit better, I'm going to go farm a shield that I always rely on personally, because I never really use shields in PvP too much, except for parrying. But this shield is for parrying, so we're going to go grab that here. Shouldn't take too long. The drop rate on it's okay. It's essentially like a plank shield, but the reason I use it is because of its weight. It is an extremely light shield. It's like 1, I think, which is really, really good, because then I can use as much of my weight as I can to increase how good our armor is. To farm it, I just run through and kill these guys a few times. The one with the shield is the one we want. This guy over here. We didn't get it, that's okay. Finish killing these for some more runes. And I'll bring you back once we get what we're after. You can reset in this cave just here. Ah, there we go. It took another 20 odd minutes. The drop rate's way worse than I thought, apparently. But here's the shield. 61 negation. It's really good for PvP because you don't need much higher than 60. And yeah, as I said, the weight, it weighs 1. It's huge. Because this is 3.5. Not exactly worth it in my opinion, but it is a nice shield if you want to wear better armor. It helps. Then obviously to put the Ash of War on it, you just go to a grace, select your shield, and chuck it on. Beautiful. That'll last us a really, really long time. Alright, the only thing left to do really is to farm up the levels that we need, and then we're pretty much good to go, because I can just go buy the axe at any point. So I guess I'll bring you back when I've farmed up all the runes that I need. Alrighty, we have gotten our 3 weapons. As you can see, we got our Vike Spear to 4, we got our Axe of Godric to 4, we got our Tree Spear to 9, got ourselves a Finger Seal, and I went off and purchased the Surge Flame that I was talking about before. Hopefully it'll help us in PvP catching people that live with 1 health. Let's go kill this guy real quick, and then I will leave it here. Show you guys how crude the Vike Spear is. Come on, lad. There we go. Give him a good old bow. Bow wow. What a gentleman. Alright, let's go, lad. Good damage. There's the madness into full charged R2. Look at this. You can't tell me that's not dirty. And players get madness even quicker than that. So yeah. Alright, we actually didn't have any better equipment. This is actually pretty good for PvP apparently. Let's see if the Surge Flame does what I think it should. It does. Okay, that should help quite a bit with catching people that are 1 HP. Well, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Until the next one,